What's up, guys? This is D22-soso, Wayne Chiang of the Professional Gamer Podcast. This is my VIP guest, Limon Poker. Hope it's working now. Hope it's not a disaster, but it's always a disaster with you.
Do they see you?
Yeah, they see both of us.
Yeah, but I mean, Wayne.
Does that? I mean, whatever.
Wayne,
Disaster.
the pandemic has not been kind to you. I mean, I'm no fucking gem, but what the fuck is going on?
Oh, with what? I got hit by Bell's palsy. I thought I told
What's
you this.
that?
It's like when the side of your face goes, ugh. And
Why did that happen? Why?
April.
What caused it?
It's just random.
Just random?
Yeah. It's like viral, like virus influenced, but yeah, it just happens. And then it just
Oh, that sucks.
heals. Yeah.
So are you cured now?
Mostly. I think it's like 90% okay now.
All right. Well,
What were you referring to?
I mean, you got hit with a lot of things. I think Bell's
Yeah.
palsy is probably the worst of it. But
Sure.
Wayne, how much longer can you survive a pandemic?
I don't know. Why? Do you see like disaster? Drifting with disaster?
That's a scary answer. I'm worried for you.
Why? I'm fine. Recording podcasts?
You're not inspiring a lot of confidence here. Should we come and check up on you? Should I come check up on you?
Sure. Also leave a couple Bitcoin while you're at it.
Yeah. Bitcoin has been going down, but they're still worth plenty, I guess.
Sure. I mean, the beginning of the pandemic, it was like 4K.
There's a lot of people trading Bitcoin for cash for Bitcoin, casino chips for Bitcoin, casino chips for cash, because like the fact that all the LA casinos are shut down has really fucked with the whole sort of like currency of poker.
Sure.
Because a lot of people are stuck with chips. They want to get rid of chips. And some people have Bitcoin. They want to get cash. People are trying to avoid taxes, launder money, whatever. I don't know what they're all up to, but I've never had so many offers to like buy this with cash, or send me your Bitcoin for cash, or how many chips can you buy for me, or how many chips it's like, I mean, normally I would be like all gung-ho about a lot of this, but I feel like since I work at the Commerce, I host the game there, it'd be unethical for me to buy up Commerce chips, even though I could buy up a lot of Commerce chips at discount right now.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it would be unethical, so I'm not doing it.
What kind of discount are you getting now?
Not much, but even if somebody wants to give me 3% just for the convenience sake, I buy $50,000 worth of chips. I just made all that money.
Fair
But so people, they just think like, oh, I'll just call Abe and he'll buy them, and I would fucking love to, but I'm just like telling them like, if it ever comes out, like right now you could still cash them if you had to. You could set up an appointment. It's a huge fucking pain in the ass. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Even though I host a game there, I'm like not the guy to ask, and yet everyone asks me like, Abe, can you take care of these chips for me? Blah 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 blah. And at one point in time, before the casino opened and then closed again, I was doing that. I was like literally like setting up their appointments for them because these were like VIPs from my game.
Sure.
But now I'm just like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. But if I wasn't associated with the casino at all, I would just buy up all the chips, because they're never going to not cash. It's just really inconvenient right now
Sure.
to have $50,000 of Commerce chips and setting up an appointment. It's like this major fucking like act of Congress.
So you kind of have two identities. One is your online persona, and then one
Right.
is your like live persona.
See, that was a good start to the show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It doesn't. You wanted some structure. Fuck structure. There was a topic. We did one topic, and now we'll do the next topic.
You're the one who got me my poker broadcast career. Do you recount what happened?
Well, looking at you now, I feel bad about it. Is it?
Why?
It looks like. Is this how you end up when you're like still like a famous poker broadcaster?
I
Like, I
guess.
think I'm doing pretty good now, and like, I don't know. I mean,
Everybody
all the,
says I look better now.
you were looking better, but I'm worried about you right now.
What do I look like now?
You, you look like you've been like playing like some video game for like 5 straight days.
Really? Wow.
You, your eyes look like they're operating independent of each other, like a gecko or something.
Are they?
I hope that your palsy thing is cured.
It's mostly cured. Yeah.
If it's not cured and you need something, you ask me, I'll help you out. I don't know what I would do. Do I donate like cheek organs?
Sure. Pork
Okay.
cheek. Pork cheek.
Pork cheek.
Barbecued
All right,
pork
what's
cheek.
next? What's next?
All right, let's just get started. Like, how'd you get introduced to games? Like, you had some gaming background when you were younger, right?
Well, I guess like when I was a kid, obviously, I really loved games and puzzles. I was like obsessed with games and puzzles, and I would challenge everybody in the neighborhood to games and puzzles, like contests. Loved playing Monopoly with everybody, or there's a book. There was a magazine back then called, I think it was called Games Magazine, and I'd get that magazine. It'd have a bunch of games and puzzles in it, and I'd say like, oh, let's see who can solve this puzzle the fastest or whatever. But like most of the kids are just like, who cares? That's stupid.
So they were basically ahead of their time, right?
Yeah, they're like, let's go play baseball, and so I'm like, fine, let's go play baseball. But secretly, I would do my puzzles in the dark of night. Dumb little things like IQ test type stuff.
And then, did you crush them with your superior Monopoly skills?
Oh yeah, ow! It was like Monopoly's such a dumb game, but as a little kid, once you figure out you just buy everything, there's no fucking the strategy's just like brute force. The entire strategy of the game is like absolute brute force. And then like, the other kids like lands on some property and they're like, should I buy this or not? And I'm just laughing like, you idiot! Buy everything! And they're like, oh, Abe's crazy. He just buys every property he lands on. And you can always mortgage them later. It's just like, it's sort of like real life. So, I would try to like say like, okay, we'll play a game of Monopoly for a Pepsi or something. Things like, or baseball cards. Anything for baseball cards.
Those are killing it now in 2020.
Well, there's certain baseball cards that are still worth a lot and certain ones that aren't. I have so many fucking sports cards, and unfortunately, like, I started probably like, I'm like 47 or something. So when I was a little kid, that was like basically like 1980 to 1986, maybe, is like that range there. Would have been the baseball card ages, and those are the worst cards to have, the absolute worst, because that was when they started printing way too many cards. So I have like tens of thousands of cards from years that fucking do not matter. The only good luck I have with them is like I have like the baseball cards really aren't. There's not much to show for the baseball cards. I mean, some of them are worth a decent amount. It's the hockey cards that I accidentally got, the Wayne Gretzky rookies and stuff like that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars.
So you run so good.
Well, no, selling them is a massive pain in the ass because you got to get them graded, and if you sell on eBay, you might get scammed or something. It's like, I figure like I'll just like, I was hoping that like when one of my nieces or nephews like came to me for money, I would just say like, here's 20,000 sports cards. They're worth, maybe tens of thousands of dollars, but you're gonna have to do a whole bunch of fucking work to get rid of them. Take them. And then they'd sort of have to like me, and then I would sort of like be like a cool uncle that like gave them something, but I also would be like not having to deal with this thing that someday I should probably deal with, which is like getting them all fucking graded, and opening a fucking eBay account, and getting them all in the right little fucking case. It's just, it makes my skin crawl just thinking about it.
You'd rather just show up to a place, get dealt 4 cards, and rake in money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm so lazy at this point, like beyond any level of reasonable laziness. People think I have Bell's palsy, but I'm just lazy. So I shouldn't be joking about that, should I?
I mean, it recovers. Like most cases recover. It seems like I recover. If you look at some of the videos I had like a couple months ago, I was like, I couldn't talk.
But you're such a trooper. You just still do the show. It doesn't fucking matter. You just fucking power.
I learned from you, man.
No. Actually, truth be told, though, when I did the show, I did it for who knows how many years through the CLP and then through Live at the Bike. I never missed a show. Never. No matter fucking what, I did that show. Sickness and health, me and the audience, it was until death do us part. And then when it ended, it just was over as it. Never came back.
What do you mean? You have a couple of cameos. You had a couple of cameos that I caught off Twitch, and then, now this. They have to come to me to get to you. Come to me to get to you.
Well, I always like to talk to you, Wayne. But I don't just want to talk to anybody. I like to talk to Wayne. Wayne likes to goof around.
The first episode we did. So I was Busto, and I played in your PLO game at the bike, and I think I took a really bad beat, and then then I told a joke.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Hey, come commentate on Live at the Bike."
No, I think I said like, I think I was busting your balls a little about the jokes, and then I said, "Tell another one," and then you told another one, and I was like, "Tell another one," and then you just kept coming up with just
bad jokes.
Yeah, one after. I was like, "You're like, I go, you should commentate," and you go, "I could write these jokes down," and you wrote down like 4 pages. Yeah. Of the It's Wayne jokes. And that's how you became It's Wayne. Wayne, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wayne.
That was the best episode. It
was good.
I sent it to people.
No, people liked that one. That one was so legendary. You had fucking all these. I'd say, read another one. You'd read another one, you'd be like, I can't even, like, you had a joke about, like, a Karate Kid or something. You had, like, so many fucking weird-ass jokes.
They're awesome. They're not weird.
Well, people gotta go back and listen to themselves. They
Anyway,
they were special. Those were special times.
So, was there anything that happened? You just like went to college, then got into you got a job, and you started getting into poker, right?
Well, I was in college, and I was doing a little gambling here and there, like at golf courses, like. There's always a lot of gambling going on, so I worked at golf courses and there'd be gambling going on. I remember one time we would go out to pick up we had to go out in the night and pick up all the golf balls off the driving range. And so it was Oregon, and so like normally you would drive the picker, but because this Oregon is muddy, you had to like pick them by hand. So me and this guy would go out there and pick them by hand. It'd take hours, and he would have a radio, like a transistor radio playing, so for us to listen to, and it was like classic rock, and like every time a song came up, whoever got it first won a certain amount of money, right? Really small, like we're talking like 5 cents. This is like when minimum wage is like $2 an hour or something. So, but then we would go double or nothing on the next one, double or nothing. He'd always say double or nothing, double or nothing, double or nothing. And it's like, well, how many can you get wrong in a row? Like, but I was pretty good at this. So, I'd be like, okay, boom, REO Speedwagon, boom, Asia, boom, all the fucking bands of that time, Night Ranger, Motorin, Night Ranger, boom, double or nothing, boom. So it's like 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 40 cents, 80 cents, $1.60, $3.20. It got up to like $64. Wow. And like this guy could never come up with $64 in a fucking billion years. So that was like my first like real gambling win. And like I'd make him just pick the whole range by himself, and I would just like drive the cart around and hit on the girls that worked in a snack bar and steal beers. And that was like the best ever. So, and then we gambled on everything at the golf course. You know, can you chip, putt, this? Like everybody liked to gamble there a whole bunch. Poker didn't really come in. Like, I mean, in the call, there's dorm room game, some cards stud. This is another game, tiny game, 10-cent ante, but winning at that.
What year was this?
This is like probably 1990, something like this. I mean, I think I'm like really bad with dates. So I think that was college, like freshman, sophomore college is somewhere around there.
That's what she said. You're bad with dates.
Wow. See, there you go. It's Wayne, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne.
But shout out to Oregon now. What the hell's going on there? It's in 2020.
You know, all this stuff, Oregon's always been like that. Always. With like hippies and weirdos and survivalists. This is like nothing new. Anarchists. But it's always been like this tiny little fringe group, and it still is. Like the total number of people causing trouble in Portland is probably under 100. But it fits somebody's political agenda. So like, just like you're looking at me right now, and on either side of me, you know, there could be like a gun to my head or something, or like on either side of me, like anything could be happening outside this frame. But if you get the frame small enough, it looks like whatever you want to look like is happening. But I guarantee you with 100% certainty, on all of any crazy thing that fucking some right-wing piece of shit is saying is happening in Portland, if you just said like, move the camera this far, it would just be like blue sky and some dude fucking walking his dog. Because in Portland, nobody fucking cares. They just don't care. Same in Eugene. Nobody cares. Like there could be anarchists right there, and then like right next to them is like just people just doing their normal fucking business. Like, oh, that block's the anarchy block. That's where like people take videos and try and make it look like Portland's burning down. Meanwhile, the fucking cost of real estate in Portland's fucking gone up 50% in the last 3 months. You know, it's just crazy.
Okay, so
End scene.
End scene. So, what you're saying is the media manipulates the public view. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Poker used to be one of the worst at that. You know, it's like, this guy's got 5.8 million in cashes or something. You know, it's like, well, how much did he buy in for? They just want to show this much of it. You move the camera this far, and he's fucking begging for a buy-in. You know, it's all this bullshit. It's all this fucking bullshit. You know, it's like anybody until they have cashes minus entry fees minus money paid out to backers, net profit. I don't want to know anything that happened to you in a fucking tournament. I don't give a shit, you know? It's all bullshit.
What about cash games?
Cash games, same thing. I mean, you can lie all you want, I guess. It's like people always say like, oh, who's a good player in the cash game, you know? Who's a good player? How do you know? I'm like, here's how you know. You come in and there's a guy grinding the cash game. It's obviously his job. You come in 1995 and he's there. And then you come back again in 2005 and he's still there. That's a really fucking good poker player. No matter what anybody says about him. Because the number of guys that he's seen come and go in that decade or even the next is like thousands of people who've come and gone who all thought they were going to be winning poker players. So, and you know, it's like a lot of times those guys don't have like what you'd call like some sort of spectacular game. They say, that guy? Yeah, that guy who just like doesn't do anything. I'm like, yeah, that guy who doesn't do anything. His stack just creeps up all the time. Well, your stack just goes down, you know? There's a big difference between creeping up and down.
Okay, so that's getting ahead of things, but so what was the thing? You got into party poker when you were working, and you've told me this story before. I don't.
Oh yeah, that's basically how I like, you know, like the whole like, ooh, maybe I should be a professional poker player. Party poker's great. Like, I was playing in the casino but you know, I was always a big proponent, even when I was like getting people advice back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I would always say, like, never quit your day job. Like, poker is more fun and more profitable if you're a serious hobbyist than it is if your back is against the wall all the time, right? So, and I practiced what I preached. I kept my day job forever, like, and I would just play like as much poker as I could because I loved it, and and I was making money, and I was learning, and I was meeting people, and it was exciting. This is like early 2000s. I was working in finance, and I kept my poker. I kept my finance job, and I played poker, for like extra income and enjoyment. And then when I started playing on party poker, probably 2003, I want to say. I mean, it could have been, give or take, a little tiny amount of time, but 2003-ish. Then I just started making like real fucking money. And it's because I could play it while I was at my regular job. So, I'm like supposed to be building credit models, which I was always supposed to be doing, but it never took me more than like half of the time that I was scheduled to work. But then, you got like, I had employees, and you got people below you, people above you. You can't just leave the office, And so I couldn't get in like extra hours of poker, even though my job was not taking me very much time, and I was really good at my job, and everybody liked me there. But then when party poker came, it's like, I just never have to leave. I can just sit in my office, close the fucking blinds, and just fucking smash all day long.
Steal blinds.
Yeah. And then when like my boss was the CFO, because I was a director and I moved up to vice president just before I quit. And then when he finds out what I'm doing, and he's not mad at all, he's like, teach me, please teach me. Because he's basically a nerdy math guy too. And I tried to teach him, but he wasn't, I mean, he was good at, he knew what to do, but he had like what most people have. It's like he had like a secret rage problems, I guess. He's like, he smashed his work computer.
Hey, former Lyman's boss, you're not the only one, so don't worry. It's normal for a certain percentage of people.
And of course he knows all my screen names, because then you had multiple, like, I guess it's a bad thing now, but then you had to do it because there was no such thing as multi-tabling. You had to have more than one account to play more than one table. Party poker didn't, if I remember right, they didn't allow you to open up as many tables. You could only open up like 2 tables, and then they allowed you to open up 4 tables. So like if you wanted to really like crush, you had to like have different accounts. So like he would know all my accounts. He'd be like calling me. He's like, you just fucking stacked me on 3 tables. I'm like, I don't even know you're there, dude. I'm fucking trying to keep up with all these fucking, I'm trying to just work it as fast as I fucking can, because back then it was much harder. That later people figured out how to do it with heads up display and everything. And I don't know, they would have tables that pop and tiled, and I just had them all set up like this and little tiny on a giant fucking monitor, and I'm just like looking at every fucking game trying to go, At one point in time in like 2004 or something, I don't know, it was shortly after I got on Party Poker, like I was the highest volume player, one of the highest volume players in the entire West Coast. And the CFO of Party Poker, his name is Vikrant Bhargava. He actually flew to the United States from Gibraltar to meet with me and a few other guys, and just to see what we were doing, because he wasn't sure whether we were cheating or not. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we know we have your ISPs, you guys have all these fucking accounts open, and you guys are playing like, we don't have any human play, so like, we want to know what the fuck you're doing. You're obviously making us a lot of rake and stuff. I'm like, okay, here, come see my setup. He's like, you're really fucking playing all those tables? Like, yep, you can watch me play them right here, playing every fucking table. He's like, this is insane. He's like, what can we do to support you guys? And like, basically we gave them ideas on how to allow us to play more tables. And then that basically like was probably pretty bad for poker, but
it was going to happen eventually, didn't it?
Yeah. we didn't really think about good or bad for poker. I mean, I don't think the other guys I don't think the other guys did either, because it wasn't like, it just seemed like a game to us. Like, it's online fucking poker. It's not real poker. It's real money, but it's not real poker. Like, you never see anyone else's face, you don't really know what's going on. So like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I actually had a party poker debit card. He left us because like we couldn't cash out fast enough because they wouldn't let you cash out all your money. Like, it was on like this really slow trickle, and because they want you to keep playing, right? But we're not like regular people. Holding on to our money isn't going to make us play more. We're playing as much as fucking humanly possible. So we want our fucking money out. That's one of the things. And so like, we had this card where like we could take a certain amount of money off it every day, and I just maxed it out every day.
Professional. Then
well, that was the good times.
That era, I think I maxed out at like 16 tables of like 1530. There was like the Eurobet skin. I forgot there was like other skins. Coral Poker.
Yeah, I remember the very first one I played in. Very first skin I played on was called. Oh man, this is where I'm getting old. What the fuck was it called? I don't know, but I can't remember now. But you could order drinks and you could tip the dealer. It was before party.
A skin?
No, it was a site.
Yeah, Paradise Poker.
Well, that was Paradise, right? Where you could tip the dealer, right? Yeah.
I think so. I know you could buy the drinks.
Yeah, you could order drinks.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And then when party went down, online poker is over for me, because the other sites when party went down, I played at Absolute and Full Tilt because I had a 100% rakeback account. Then I just smashed the 100% rakeback account for as long as I could. Like, the way it worked was you were considered a prop, and as long as you were sitting at one empty table, you could always stay at every table that you had started, right? So I would start one, move to another empty one. Start one, I'd get, like, just before prime time, I would log in. That way I knew that tables would fill. So that way I could always get 4 tables with 100% rakeback. You always had to be sitting at one empty table, though. So once I had, at that point in time, you couldn't play No Limit Hold'em either on my account. So that's when I started playing Pot Limit Omaha. And playing 4 tables of Pot Limit Omaha was more complicated for me. And so I never expanded out to like, I got to 6 maybe, but like, I never expanded out to like 8 like I was doing No Limit Hold'em. But I was usually just at 4. So that I didn't have to keep sitting at tables and like having new tables start. What I would do is I would always sit at 200, 400 Raz, because nobody would sit me. Like, I did this for like, I mean, probably 2 years before they took that account away from me, and no one sat me one time at 200, 400 Raz. If somebody would have just sat there, they could have grimmed me and just like stole one blind probably before I figured it out or whatever, so when Auntie's will figure it out. Because I'd be like so busy, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? I got a Raz hand? Where the fuck did that come from?
Guys, if you invent a time machine, go back to 2004 and go on Absolute and just keep stealing.
Well, no, that would have been like 2008. That was right after Party shut down. When did Party shut down? 2008?
Party? I mean, Party's still around. You mean stop serving the U.S.?
Yeah, stop serving the U.S., yeah. I'm going to say 2008. That's my guess.
Okay, I mean, I don't remember. I know NetTeller shut down in 2007.
Yeah, so maybe 2007. It was 2007, 2008. That's when I was on the 100% rakeback at Absolute. Mm-hmm. And then when they sort of took that away, then I went and started playing at casino again. You
started live really early then, 2008.
Well, I was already playing live in 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002.
I just met a lot of people from online.
Really playing.
Yeah, a lot of people from live went to. A lot of people went from online to live after Black Friday.
Yeah, I was already gone from. I didn't wait around for Black Friday because I couldn't make enough money at full tilt, playing the way that I was playing. To make the amount of money that I wanted to make to playing at full tilt stars in 2009, let's say, or 2010 when I was playing absolute, 2008, 9, 10 in that area, without a 100% rakeback account, I would have had to play like mass table. There's only two ways to do it. You either had a mass table, so now you're playing like in the teens number of tables, like, or you had to play nosebleed stakes and have a lot of money deposit online all the time. And I didn't trust the sites at all. I mean, there was
why would you not trust the sites?
Exactly. Like I was constantly trying to get money off. The last thing I was going to do is deposit $100,000 to play so that I could play 4 tables of $25.50 or something. No fucking way. No fucking way. And so like at that point in time, I was going out to the Commerce because they had 2040 PLO, and I was playing that game. That was when like Bob Landau and all those guys were just like really fucking lighting money on fire, even though I didn't get any of it. I was playing that game every day. Then I got crushed in that game, like crushed. So this might be like 2010, I guess. I lost like mountains, and then I said like, fuck, this game's just like, the game was just too big. You can run bad in PLO for just so long, and uncapped 2040 PLO is just a monstrous fucking game. So once I had lost like mountains and mountains of money in that game, I said, fucking A, I need to find a smaller PLO game, but none existed. And so I said, the perfect PLO game would be 5-5-10, with the 10 being a straddle. That way, like, your hourly rate would still be over $100 an hour easily, but you wouldn't have like these just massive $50,000 swings, and then you fucking run bad and you're down $150,000. It's just too crazy for a poker player, for me at least. Maybe for somebody else it wasn't. And because I mean, I wasn't like a regular poker player. Like I didn't like keep $1 million like sitting in a fucking casino safe deposit box. I bought like houses and invested in shit. Like I didn't keep like mountains of fucking liquid cash sitting around. So, because I didn't really consider poker to be like, wasn't going to be like my entire fucking life. Like a lot of poker players just like kamikazes. Like, this is it. If this doesn't fucking work out, I'm dead. Either die or become a multi-millionaire. But then even if you become a multi-millionaire, it's like, who fucking cares?
And you
it's
never
like, what are you gonna do?
Too.
Yeah, you just play bigger, and now you're broke again. It's like if you have if you need, let's say, let's say you need 40 buy-ins to play, and you have $40,000, and then you play 5-10 no limit, and you're just gonna like $1 million or bust. Those guys never ever have the right number of buy-ins because they just keep moving up too fast. Because they're like, oh god, yeah, fucking yeah, I got $1 million fucking dollars in my fucking safe deposit box. What are you doing? Oh, I'm playing 1,000, 2,000 no limit in Bobby's room. It's like, you're still basically broke. You're the exact same level of broke you were before because all of your fucking money is tied up in a fucking casino. You don't own anything, and you still just have 20 buy-ins or something. It's just a never ending. And I mean, that just wasn't the way I was going to go out. I wanted wealth. I didn't want money. I wanted wealth. I wanted to relax. Like, poker is fun and exciting at some point in your life, but when you really think about it, it's still active income. You can't get it unless you're there. Yeah. You can't get it unless you're looking at like cardboard rectangles or like black and red rectangles. There's no fucking way to get money out of poker without looking at black and red rectangles. It's impossible. So if at any point in your life you think, I'm not really going to be that interested in looking at black and red rectangles, then you better fucking have some wealth. Because it's there, you have to do it. You can't say like, I'm just going to make some money playing poker today, but the one thing I'm not going to do is look at black and red rectangles. You can't. You got to do it. You have no fucking choice. You have to look at black and red rectangles. So it's like, at some point in time, that just becomes like not fulfilling for most people. Like there's like some autistic people or whatever, more power to them. They never get bored with it or whatever. But I think for any regular human, they'd be like, oh man, they got to think ahead a little bit.
I also have the utmost admiration for people that just like stay passionate about something. It's like, man, wish I loved things that much.
I mean, they're sort of lucky, I guess, that like that. I mean, I guess I've stayed passionate about golf for a very long time, but I mean, I just feel like it's a more dynamic thing to do than play poker because you're outdoors and you're getting some exercise. You're still gambling. It's more social. Um, but who knows? Maybe I mean, if you want to make money playing golf, you fucking have to hit a round ball. You have no fucking choice. You still got to fucking hit a round ball. Maybe at some point I'll get tired of hitting a round ball.
When did you get into the media side of poker and hosting?
Well, that's that's good. After I was getting obliterated at the 2040 PLO game at Commerce, because I mean it wasn't even 2040, it was like 2040 80 160. Like this game was fucking off the charts. Every fucking pot straddled. And I just ran like fucking dog shit for so fucking long. And I mean, I would go over the hands and go over them. And I had played so many million fucking hands online. I knew that I was playing well. I knew I was doing everything right. People would just always allow you to back ship your aces like 100% of the time. And then you just, it just is what it is. It doesn't fucking matter. But, I was like, I'm not going to go fucking start selling hard assets to fucking keep playing this game. What I need to do is, I don't need to make $400 an hour, even if that was I don't even know if that was possible, but I didn't need it anyway. It's like I need to make between $150 an hour. That's what I want to make for my time playing this game. So then I'm like, if I could start if there was a 5-5-10 pot limit Omaha game, that would be fucking perfect. Okay, I know that I could make that in that game because nobody knew how to play pot limit Omaha then. Now it's much harder. So then I said, well, it's like the whole thing, like if you can't beat them, join them. It's like, well, if the game doesn't exist, just build it. Yeah. So I just went to Bicycle Club, and I said, hey, they got this game that basically goes every single day at Commerce. It's too big for every single professional that's playing in it. It's too big for 80% of the amateurs that are playing in it. I think I could siphon off a 5-5-10 pot limit Omaha game over here if you guys made a deal with me. And they were just like, done deal. Yeah, here's the deal. Yeah. I'm like, okay. They're like, okay, we'll give you 40% of the rake and you start tomorrow, basically.
Wow.
Because back then, and even now to a certain extent, casinos just assume you're going to fail. So it's no skin off their teeth. It's a free roll for them. If you've got a decent reputation, they know that you're not going to be a pain in their ass, right? So I had a really good reputation, and everybody knew me, and so they knew I wasn't going to be a pain in their ass, that I would either get the game going or I wouldn't, one or the other, doesn't matter. And they gave me like $1,000 a month in expense account too, so I had a real sweetheart deal there to buy people wine and valet and shit, because I'm like, you're going to make it all back on this rake. And we did. I mean, we had a game 5 days a week, probably average 8 to 10 hours a day. So, so let's say it's going 50 hours a week and it's raking $120 an hour. So 125 bucks an hour. So it's raking $6,000 a week, basically, is what it was raking when I first started it. And then it got to the point where I was that was at the very beginning. Then it even got more popular, where I was getting 2 tables on Fridays and stuff like this. So, I'm making a few $1,000s a week in the rake that I'm getting, rake back, that I'm chopping with the casino, and I'm making money in the game. So that was a fucking super sweetheart deal. And I'm just at the bike all the time, so why not fuck around with life at the bike? I was on Bart's. I was doing some Crush Live poker stuff. And I was doing some Crush Life Poker stuff. I was doing fucking around with Live at the Bike a little bit and hosting that game every day at the bike until, like, they started fucking with me a whole bunch, I guess. So, I mean, I don't have any problem with them or whatever. Like, but, when you start making too much money, then somebody's going to come and be like, we need to renegotiate your deal. And when you hear that, it's never like, we're going to give you 70% of the income. It means like, you're going to make less money. And we know you're not going to leave because you created a sweetheart situation for yourself. So they just fuck with you until you can't take it anymore, basically. It's fine. What do I care? And then I went to commerce. Fuck it, There's always, if you can get a game down, there's always a spot for you in poker world. And the way that a person gets a game down is you just have to be a likable chap, who people want to play poker with. And that's it, basically. But whatever. You got to be trustworthy. People need to know that, like, when you say something, it's going to happen. So I'm at the bike all the time, basically, and then, Bart and I parted ways, and I was like, fuck, man, I seen that Bart's making money with that Crush Life Poker thing, and it's basically just like this horrible fucking site that just regurgitates shit that he read online, and somehow he's making money from it. I'm like, I could do way better than that. So, like, I just went to the Live at the Bike people, who Live at the Bike was just like making no money. It's like, it was a drain. Like, the people that were running were losing money. I said, listen, give me a certain percentage of this company for free, and I will fucking make you guys money. If Bart can do it, I can do it. And they were like, fine. They gave me a big chunk of the company for free. It cost me $0 to purchase. And then fucking right away, we just started making money. Because I knew how to fucking make money. I knew how to sell memberships. It's just like hosting a poker game. You have to be honest. You have to be trustworthy. You have to offer a good product. You have to, and you do that, and then the people will beat a path to your door. That's how I was in that poker media. But like, I don't know what I just was myself. I didn't try to do anything. I said, like, fuck it. I'm just gonna be me, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I know that, like, there'll be a hardcore group of people that will come along, because there will be a group of people that realizes, like, oh, this guy really does what he says he does. This guy really is at the casino every day. This guy doesn't talk about playing poker. He's fucking there. Like, I can come shake his hand. I can come meet him. I can come sit at the table with him. Like, he's really fucking there. He doesn't, like, go to the casino for 10 minutes and videotape hands and then put them on some fucking channel, or he doesn't go to the casino and buy in for $20,000 and take a picture of it and then put it on his fucking Facebook account or something. Like, he's like sitting right there every single day. There's the money right in front of him. Come get it, And so, like, I was like, those are the type of people that I respect in the industry. And so I'm like, well, there's always going to be a place for people like that, And then, I was right to a certain extent. Live at the Bike, fucking just, the subscriptions just went way up, 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 up. Everybody started making money. And then, of course, it all came to an end.
Still rather, I mean, aren't you guys, you're happy? They're happy?
I don't care.
Yeah.
It all worked out for me.
Yeah.
It all worked out. I sold my shares for a lot of money compared to what I paid for them, which is zero. I got paid out a lot of money by my business partners to do nothing, and so, like, who could be mad about that?
Your show, Poker Sesh, I always tell people, I mean, I do it on camera, but mostly off camera, is just that if there's any person in the poker world who could run a one-person show, it's Limon Poker.
Well, but it wasn't like I mean, certain parts of it, but truth be told, the reason that show was good and the reason that it sort of endures, like, is because of the callers. The callers were what made the show. Because most people, when they do a show, they try to control the callers. If a caller is a troll, they hang up on them. They want to screen the callers. They want the callers to be, like, on topic. They want the callers to have something important to say. I was like the opposite. I wanted the callers to be total fuck-ups. And I wanted to no screening. anybody call in, and then I would just like take them on like in real time, like a sparring session. Like I remember one time a person called in and they said that they were beating this game in the Bay Area. I said it's impossible to beat that game. It's like 1-2 no limit. I said because they rake $5 a hand, and so if they're raking $5 a hand, that means on that game where the max buy-in is $200, they're raking almost the entire player off the table every fucking hour. You're delusional. And they're like, no, this game doesn't rake that much. This game only rakes $1. I'm like, no, that's impossible. They're like, no, it does. And so like, I'm on the Skype. I'm like, while they're talking and telling me, I'm calling the casino. So I patch the casino in. I'm like, how much does the 1-2 game rake? And like $5 a hand. So I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like, that's like the good part about it. Like, you could just in real time have like all this cool stuff happening. Like, I remember like one guy called in and he was running alongside his car while he was trying to talk on the phone. He put pictures online proving it. Like, there's like you just never knew. Like, people like famous poker players would call in and try to, like Doug Polk would call in but try to disguise his voice so I didn't know it was him and troll me or whatever. It's like there's this like, is it like a, because the phone lines are just like always open and everybody knew that they would just be like incredulous, like, you really fucking just answer every call? I'm like, yes, I just answer every call. But most of the time, like, it would always come back around to like good poker talk. Like, after the person would like get it out of their system, like, I'm gonna act like an idiot. After, like, I'd be like, okay, now that you got that out of your system, like, what do you really want to talk about? You know, like, it would usually work out good. And like, because I had so many great callers and the callers sort of ran the show, when I'd have a guest like Sklansky or Malmuth or whoever the poker pro of the day was, like, my callers would like really fucking do a good job. Like, my callers would like grill the shit out of them. Like, it was like always really good because my callers like knew like to come with it. They like knew like, this is like for the best callers. You gotta, if you're gonna call in Lyman's show, he's gonna fuck you up if you come in with like a bad call. Like, so like the callers that called in every week became like exceptionally good interviewers in their own right. Like, and they became really, really good at like coming up with good topics and like, you know, putting pressure on me to like defend myself on like different takes I would have that were like pushing the edge of like not being smart things to say, you know. So it all worked out. It was like it was more of a community than a show. Like, it wasn't me. It was everybody. I was there and I was a good ringleader, but like SD calling in with telling us about his job at the casino as a fucking he worked at the casino as a fucking bathroom attendant to make enough money to play the $20 nooner tournaments. And we would do like role playing where I'd say like, oh, I got my penis stuck in my zipper, what do you do? And he would like tell me like, okay, here's what I would do. Crazy fucking, it was a good show. It's a good part.
Yeah,
Two Hats, fucking King Little. There's a lot of good shows.
And you have like solo rants that have like a lot of insight on the gambling world, and you know, you were the one who showed me the light to stop banging my head, you know, just playing poker. I was trying to, you know, do other stuff the whole time, like the entire 20 years, you know, went to school, you know, had other things going on, but just like couldn't exit. Like, I just couldn't get any, I got acclaim for the stuff that I did, but I just couldn't exit. And it just seems like, you know, part of my advantage play portfolio is, you know, you coined. So good to have poker and have your foot in the poker world.
Well, you're the king of all poker media now.
No, stop trolling me.
Even though, well, there is no poker media anymore, but you're the king of it. Whatever's left.
No, it's Joe Ingram, aka Chicago Joey.
There's no poker to have poker media about. I just I'm at the casino because I had to come out here for some golf stuff, and I walked through the poker room and oh man, it's sad. It's just so sad. Poker's just sad. I mean, it used to be sad. Now it's really sad.
They always rip on the industry, but like a lot of industries are hurting. Like,
Right.
I mean, when the iPhone came out, it killed like how many industries?
Right.
So, I mean, like one thing about poker and chess is they're still going to be around as long as the human race is around
Yeah,
at this point.
the problem with poker is the games don't necessarily get bigger at the speed that the rate gets bigger, and the players don't stay bad at the same rate. So like all of the lines don't move in the same direction. The rate moves up faster than the size of the games move up, just because of the cost of living for the dealers and everything else.
Yep.
And the skill level of the players doesn't stay flat. The skill level of the players gets much better too. Very, very fucking sharp now, because anybody can Google anything they want and find out basically
relative
any fucking answer. You know, it's like in 1998 or whatever, when I started playing, you could only figure things out through like trial and error. Like there was like no, like you could read Super System, I guess, but it didn't really like prepare you the way you can be prepared now. Just like going to YouTube and watching videos, or just like going and opening up a penny ante account at some online site and just like playing like 10-cent buy-in no limit or something, like thousands and thousands of fucking hands. Like then if I wanted to play thousands and thousands of hands, I was going to lose thousands and thousands of dollars, you know. It was really tough. Like everybody, the bar to entry was so fucking high at live poker before online. The bar to entry was very, very fucking high. You already had to sort of be rich to get rich. There was no stepping stone, you know.
It's not like on other industries either, though.
Yeah.
A lot of industries, you need to start with something. It's really hard to start from scratch.
Right. But in poker, there was a dream time of poker from 2000, I want to say from like 2003-ish to 2008-ish, where you literally could start at 10 cent, 20 cent, and move to 20 cent, 40 cent, 40 cent, 80 cent, $1, $2, $2. There was like a perfectly smooth, linear rise up with almost no rake because it was online. There was like, and the players stayed the exact same level of bad all the way up until like fucking whatever the biggest games were that they were offering, 10, 20 no limit or whatever. It was like a dream scenario where you literally could just be a kid with like $100 to your name and not even have to run very good and just like fucking go work your way up to no limit, because no limit is so much lower variance than the other forms of poker. Like you could have like almost like a pretty linear rise, because the steps in between each game were so small and the rake was so small and the players were so fucking horrible. Whereas in live poker, you can't even make money until you're basically at the 5-5 level, 100 big blinds deep. Like anything below that at no limit, even if you're a winner, it's like you might as well just flip cheeseburgers. Like, what's the point of beating your head against the wall for this tiny fucking hourly rate? At 5-5 no limit, you might be able to get like a $35 hourly rate now.
Back then? What about back then?
Now, I'm saying now.
Oh, now? I mean, I hear of some pretty good win rates that, you hear about their insane win rates until the downswing. Then you don't hear about it anymore.
It's just all nonsense. It's complete fucking nonsense. Because, like, I mean, you and I both know people who are who sort of stay at the 5-5 level and sort of grind it out. And none of these people are living a very good life. They're either retired, sort of, or they're business owners that are serious hobbyists and have other money coming in, or they are just like fucking broke all the fucking time, wannabe poker players who are looking to like make a score in a tournament so that they can get a big enough bankroll to get their fucking ass out of that game where you can't make any money. You know? Nobody ever like gets to the 5-5 level and says like, oh, I can retire on this, you know? Yeah. Whereas there are a lot of players who get to the 5-10 level and basically say like, this is good. I'm making a six-figure income, and I can stay on this level. But at the 5-5 level, that just never happens. There's no six-figure incomes. Not even close.
I mean, I just don't pay attention because like I get to observe the pattern over and over, which you've probably been observing longer than me, which is people like doing well at 5-5 or 5-10, then they ask the people around them, "What should I do?" You know, like.
Well, I mean, here's what you should do. I told people, like, if I was like, people say, "Oh, you were so lucky to come up when you came up," or whatever, to be able to crush and make all that money at party or whatever.
We were.
But it's not really. It's true to a certain extent, but it's not completely true. Like, if let's say for some reason tomorrow I woke up, I don't own anything anymore. Like, I get divorced, and my wife takes everything somehow or whatever. Like, I get divorced and I get like in trouble with the taxes, and I have nothing. But I could be making hundreds of thousands of dollars again in the gambling world in like hours, literally hours. That's how fast I could do it again, because I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna go try to like grind 5-5. I'd be like, okay, who are the people who trust me in this fucking world? Do they want to go business partners with me? I don't own anything, so I can't really get in trouble anymore. I'm gonna start booking sports bets, booking prop bets, running fucking home games. I'm just gonna start doing all these fucking things in the gambling world to make lots and lots of money. I would think like much more dynamic. So like the reason why that, I even think like if you took somebody now who says like, oh, some kid who can't make money now in poker, or he's not making much, who tells me like, if I could go back to when you played, I would have made a lot of money. It's like, no, you wouldn't have, because you're just not a dynamic thinker. You're a very small-minded thinker. Like you wouldn't have had the courage to do what I did then, because then what I did back then took a lot of courage. Like nobody fucking went and told their mom that they were going to fucking play poker. There was no fucking poker on TV. Poker players were just criminals. 100% fucking criminals. That's it. So like the mindset that it takes to make money doesn't change because it was then or now. The mindset is the same, but the games change. Like, who knows? I don't know exactly what I would be doing, but I could do things in the gambling world instantly and make lots of fucking money. You just have to like be willing to like have like a certain level of courage and a certain level of like go get them. And I mean, I guess there's some people that just basically can't do that because they're not trustworthy. They're bad at their job in general, whether it's poker or whatever. Their personality doesn't lend itself to like dealing with lots of people and lots of money and lots of action. But like, those are the things it takes to make a lot of money in the gambling world. Like staring at like black and red rectangles is really not, it's only like a very small part of it. Like there's a much bigger part about making money in the gambling world, and that is like being available for action. Like making yourself available for action, making yourself available to the right people for action, and understanding who is really making the money when action occurs.
Who's paying who?
Yeah, that's the way. So like you just always find yourself stepping in right in the middle of $100 bills, Like you don't like say like there's a right way to go about this. No, there's a lot of ways to go about it. It doesn't mean that you like do anything unethical, but what it means is there's people gambling all around you in a casino, and a lot of it has nothing to do with red and black rectangles, A lot of it has to do with horses and sports and the rake and other fucking shit. And so like you want to get your hands in like all the pies. You don't just want like the fucking blueberry pie or the chocolate pie, and you're gonna say like the right way to do this is to crush blueberry pies. No, the right way to do it is to fucking have your hand in every pie. That's like the mindset that would make somebody a winning gambler, not teleporting back to 2003 and understanding that nobody, I would do the sickest 3 barrels, like no one would know what I was doing, like it would blow their minds. It's like, no, that doesn't work. That's not the way it works, because you would just be you would be transporting back that you have now.
Right.
What you would really rather do is be somebody who understood how to make money and then just keep that knowledge moving through time, because then just money just always finds you. You know, you don't need to like go back in time and find people too dumb to understand what you're doing. There's plenty of dumb people right now all around us. There's dumb people everywhere, and there's people who aren't dumb, but they're just too rich to care. They want to gamble. They're very smart, and they know what they're doing is probably bad, but they're going to fucking do it anyway because it's fun.
Because we're human. We all have vices. It's just where.
Right.
Whoops. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it's ever shifting, and, you know, it's a big wake-up call to, like, you know, high-stakes poker was a lot poker in general was a lot easier, and there were times, like, I did not want to buy in sites for a lot. I could only buy in like 1 or 2K and just literally just like run it up from like 10, 20 limit or $1, $2 no limit, and then literally within weeks I'm in the big game already. So, right. And then at some point, you know, Cake Network was the last time I did it, and, you know, I could buy in global or whatever, but just like it's the big game there is like 5-10 no limit. You know, back then it was like on Party it was 10-20, on Hollywood Poker it was like all the way up to 5,100. Like, who knows what Poker Stars was, like one Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin. Right. And just like, yeah, that's not a good life. And you were the one that kind of opened my eyes to that. Like, you know, listening to some close poker sets, you know, talking to me personally, I'm just like, huh, it's got a point there. I'm gonna stop running my face into these like red and black rectangles. And I don't know if you know the number. You probably do. What's the chance of those obscene downswings in live poker where you just like never win a hand?
Well, if you play long enough, it's like 100%. I don't know.
I know, but like it happened to me year 16 when I was propping.
It's like in the long run, we're all dead. That's like the old joke. No, I mean, I've had 2 horrific years where I basically made no money. Like 2002, I mean, I was still had my regular job, but I was playing poker like 30 hours a week, and I was just getting crushed.
You're just
and
dealt
then, like,
losers?
Huh?
You were just dealt losers, like the losing hand?
Yeah, I mean, I might have been. I don't know. It's like it's so hard to say whether you were playing bad in 2002. It's like, who the fuck knows? But I know that I was playing better than the other players, because the other players like were like drooling imbeciles. Like, it's 2002. Like, there's no way for them to learn anything. I was like, it was like in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. But in 2002, like, I had a whole year. Like between 1998 and 2002, I won every year, and I won a pretty big amounts of money, like, you know, 5-figure amounts. But for just a hobbyist, it was a lot of money. Like, I bought a lot of fucking stuff with just poker money. Then in 2002, I basically played the whole year and had nothing to show for it. And I started to wonder, like, you know, I actually thought I was being cheated, because back then there's no way to know. Like, the world is so small around you when you just play live poker and you see so few hands. But then in 2003, I just started winning, you know, mountains of money online. It's like, okay, I wasn't being cheated. I just ran bad. Because, like, online, like, I would see, like,
so many.
Oh shit, you know, I played 20,000 hands, and I'm break even for 20,000. Or I'm down for 20,000 hands. Like, 20,000 hands of fucking casino is like a year, you know. It's crazy. So, like, then in 2008, like I told you, in 2008, I fucking was like basically like tapoed out my like, or 2009, right around there. When I started playing that 40, 80, 160 to 320 fucking PLO game at Commerce, I basically tapped out like, you know, 75% of my available cash in basically like a year's period. And that's why I had to fucking start a 5-5-10 game. Because otherwise it's like, oh, what am I going to do? Like, sell one of my properties or like cash out stocks and stuff? It's like, I don't want to do that. I fucking worked hard to have this passive income coming in. I'm not gonna fucking put it back into poker to play in a game that I know is just like too big, too swingy, and like also not sustainable.
Yeah.
So like it's just not as sustainable. I could have went to my friends and said like, hey, you guys want to take like 50% of me or something? But like I don't like that. I don't like doing any deals in poker like that. So like I said, rather than like selling off or swapping with people in the game, because the other pros in the game were all trying to swap as much as they fucking could because it's just too big for everybody. I said, fuck it. I got a better idea. I'll just go start a game and I'll get my cut of the fucking rake, and my 6 figures of money will just keep rolling in. My 6 figures just keep rolling in, you know? I just like I never thought in like this linear way. I thought in a more like, oh, who's making the money here? Like, I want my cut of it. If I'm gonna fucking sit here all day, I want my cut of it, you know? But yeah, you can run bad for a very fucking long time, and it's really brutal. But running bad can either make you make stupid decisions and go broke, or it can make you think more dynamically. Like, you should just, and so, you know, like maybe I was lucky. I just thought more dynamically about it. I didn't think like, I got to hit my head against this wall even fucking harder. I said, there's people that are making a fucking lot of fucking money in these casinos, and they never hit their head against any wall. I want to be one of those guys.
Yeah, and I mean, you brought a good point. I mentioned this too. Like, I remember you told me things went like bad year 3, and you were running bad year 3. Zach Freeman told me he ran bad year 8. I didn't even hit that like run where I was losing every hand until year 16. When I went broke, like part of it was my fault, part of it was like environmental fault. But like
Right.
I can't blame like the cards. Like I was dealt winning hands in
Right.
between those things. But luckily, you know, that year I was propping, and just like, you know, I had costs because of my other projects, but just like it was like, wow, you could. And I had witnesses like you know, Ali, like he was just like, I never seen you win a hand like in the last like freaking months. And like, you know, Mike Lamas was like, I was propping with them, he's just like, I'm just dealt loser, and like I'm just like, wow, like, you know. And I've read these things on 2+2 that like 1 out of 20 years you're supposed to have these like ridiculous runs.
I mean,
So
it's not. Yeah, but okay, let's say it's 1 out of 20 years. I don't fucking know. That's probably
I
not
don't know
true.
either. Yeah.
But what if it's just like your first year?
Yeah. I just no, but
Done.
I tell people on live bikers in public, I'm like, it happened to be late actually, because I've heard of so many people like you, Zach, and you know, probably other people I know. I just don't really ask. Like, you're just, you know, it's gonna happen. Like, so
Well,
when it,
yeah, but you made smart decisions. You had the casino paying you $80,000 a year to play cards. You had Live at the Bike paying you whatever that came out to, a good chunk of money. You made smart decisions. That's how you ride
yeah.
through it.
It was just very, yeah, it was just very jarring because it, like, I've gone through worse runs online, but you can play
Right.
through it. So I know they're possible, but just like when it's live, it's like slow motion. It like drags out and like it drains your soul. Like, because I mean, you know, to this day, I you know, gotta make stuff happen. So
Right.
poker is like, the good thing about it is if you train your resilience until the point you say, fuck this, I don't want to look at black and red rectangles, it prepares you for a lot of other bad things.
Right.
So when you know, we rip on poker's success rate, but startup success rate is much smaller.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, just really smart people or people with a lot of funding, like hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, just fail.
Yeah. That's why you got to like have money for a rainy day, and you got to have multiple sources of income, and you've got to have a advantage play portfolio, which is what I used to always tell people.
Yeah.
Have an advantage play portfolio. Have your finger in a lot of pies. Anytime you're going to sit and pay rake, you should be getting some of that rake back, if not all of it, because they need you as much as you need them. You know, it's like always, never fucking be like a sucker. Just don't be a sucker, basically. Always be the sharp person. Like, and that doesn't, and being sharp isn't just like fucking knowing which run out's the 3-barrel. Being sharp is like much more complicated than that. It's about understanding your place in the gambling culture and like understanding your worth and how to squeeze like every dollar of your worth out of it, because gambling culture has its faults in that it's very sort of like materialistic and very cutthroat, but the flip side of that is you can be very cutthroat too, and people don't hold it against you because they understand it's in the game. It's part of the fucking game. You like in Rounders, they said in the poker game of life, like, women are the rake. But truthfully, like in my life, like in the poker game of my life, I'm the rake. If you fucking come, like, I'm like a cactus or something. Like, if you get close to me, you're gonna get poked, 100%, and some blood's gonna come out, because that's my fucking job. Like, I'm the fucking rake. If you don't want to lose money to me, don't come within 3 feet of me, because if you come within 3 feet of me, like, you're gonna have to pay the price. There's gonna be a price to pay in a casino. Now, if we're having a barbecue or something, obviously I'm not trying to like scam everybody or fucking get one over on everybody. But in a casino atmosphere, if you're gonna come with like 3 feet of me, like, I'm gonna get my ounce, my pint of blood. Like, it's gonna happen. It's either gonna be on a prop bet, or it's gonna be on a sports bet, or it's gonna be on a poker bet, or it's gonna be on a rake. It's gonna be something, because that's what I'm there for. Just gotta be honest about it. Like, that's what I'm there for.
Do you think being on poker media helped you or hurt you?
It helped because I had fun and I made money. That's all you got in life, right?
Sure.
I had a blast. I made a lot of money for what I did, which is basically fucking around and had fun with my friends. And we built a really good like group of people who came in and played cards, and the casino made a lot of money. Everybody made money, and everybody had fun. Other than that, it didn't help me. It doesn't help me like run poker games. It helps me get action a little bit, but I would have got that action anyway, probably.
Do you think it's hurt your action?
No, definitely hasn't hurt. It's only helped, because the way the action works is not like, the better that you are at different kinds of gambling doesn't necessarily detract people from gambling with you, because there's certain people who are attracted to gambling with you. Like, I win every fucking year in my PLO game. I've hosted the same PLO game before COVID for 10 years. 5 years at the bike, 5 years at Commerce, basically, give or take. I'm winning player every fucking year. Sometimes big winner, sometimes the biggest winner in the game. Lately, no. Lately, there's definitely, in the last few years, there's players winning more than me. And it doesn't stop anyone from coming to play with me, right? Like, because I win the right way. Like, I win. I guess, I don't know how to say it other than like, there's a right way to win, there's a wrong way to win. Like, I win the right way. Like, I'm not a stiff or a nit about, when I'm actually playing a poker hand, I play it to win it, right? When I'm playing in a poker game, I play to win. But the things that go on around the poker game, I will do a lot of things that are just good for the game.
The environment.
Yeah, environment and even gambling to a certain extent. When people come to the casino, I told you, I'm in Las Vegas right now. Even though Las Vegas isn't really that much fun during COVID, I'm not here to have fun. I'm more here for the golf. But like, this city is built, and like every single person that comes here basically knows they're going to lose. But they also know that they're going to get something out of the deal, right? And it's some level of entertainment, it's some level of excitement, it's some level of camaraderie, and it's the possibility of something great happening. The idea that at any moment something great could happen. So if you play poker every day with people, you have to mimic this way of holding yourself in a gambling environment. You have to be a sport. You have to be ready to gamble. You don't have to lose, but you have to give the people that you gamble with the feeling that at any moment something great could happen, right? And then like they just keep coming back to play and play and play. And they're not suckers. This is their form of entertainment. And you got to pay for entertainment. You know? That's just the way the world works.
It's fair. Another bitch. I've never gotten jackpot in my life.
Me neither. Never. Never. You know how bad we're running?
But you're in a PLO game. There's no jackpot.
That's right. Yeah.
So I've been propping like I think 4.5 years.
Right.
0 jackpots. I had 2 table shares. But that's,
well, you're running pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, I when I bitch, obviously, I take it a bitch for fun. I mean, I'm not happy with it, but I am just like jokingly venting. I guess there's like maybe 2 other people, but pretty sure I put in more volume than those guys too. So. I don't know.
And then like some old motherfucker will come in, plop down, hit a jackpot,
Yeah.
and then like literally the next day he'll plop down and hit it again. And it's like, no, the odds of this are fucking astronomical.
Yeah, no, I mean that's happened, and I'm just like, are you freaking serious? And just like it's really tilting, and I was like happy, but also jokingly happy when I got that second table share, because up until I got that second table share, I literally had like 1 table share in like 3.5 years.
Well, like in my PLO game my game that I've hosted the last 10 years, there's never any jackpot. And people always say like, why don't you put a jackpot in the game? I'm like, because it's not a jackpot. It's a refund. It's a refund minus casino handling fees, right? So it's like, why the fuck would you want to let them hold your money on the off chance that someday you get it refunded to you? And like, even smart people, like they can't get this through their head. They're like, no, but you get like $50,000 if you hit. I'm like, no, you don't. You get $0 fucking dollars. You get the $50,000 $1 that you dropped in there. You get it back in one big lump that now you have to pay taxes on. And I'm not going to put that in my game. It's just a fucking tax on the game. It's very bad for poker. In general, jackpots are very bad for poker. And in general, big jackpots are very bad for poker. And in general, big tournament wins are very bad for poker.
Really?
Because yeah, they take too much fucking money out of the poker culture. Out of the poker economy. Like, you got all these people that they keep putting in their fucking $1, and then they have $100,000 jackpot, and you know one person gets whatever, however they split it. I don't even know because they're not in my game. Those people that one gets 60,000, one gets 40,000, or whatever. They are going to go buy something, right? So that money is going to be fucking gone. They're going to go buy. They're going to pay something off. They're going to get something for their wife so that their wife says, "Wow, going to the casino really does pay." They're going to fucking go to, after they give their wife the gift, they're going to go straight to their fucking strip club. Then, after they fucking pay off that hooker at the strip club, like they're going to go through a lot of fucking money, right?
Sure.
Whereas, if they just come and play poker every day, they never win enough to spend any. No matter how big of a win they have, like in, let's say, my PLO game, no matter if they have the fucking best day of their life, they're not going to ever win enough money, usually, to buy anything. All of it comes back. The next day, they don't come back with like a half of it. They come back with all of it. Whereas when you get $60,000 or $100,000 in one big lump, you don't come back with all of it. You come back with the fraction that you didn't spend. And then that's money all gone. Like, I had to fucking collect $1 in the fucking $1 for the last 2 fucking years so you can give it to a hooker in one fucking night? That's never coming back. You know, she didn't do anything. She never put $1 down the slot. When I'm at the casino, I want every fucking dollar that somebody wins to come back to the casino. Every dollar. And when you do big jackpot or big tournament wins that aren't flattened out, that are very top fucking heavy, tons of fucking money does not come back to poker. And that's very bad for the poker economy. I don't like that shit. So in my game, none of that stuff.
I guess I was more thinking in the lines of like online poker tournament wins, because you know, as a high stakes poker player, you need those guys to win as they sit down at the high stakes.
They sit down at high stakes, but they still don't. All the money doesn't come back.
You're right. You're right, and it also, you know, feeding the high stakes poker community. It's like, you know, when you're playing in that game, it's selfish. Like you want.
Well, the high stakes poker, nosebleed poker games are not sustainable.
They
just pop up and then they disappear. They pop up and they disappear. They don't really have anything to do with the poker economy. The poker economy are games that run every single day. If a game, the biggest game, no limit game in the entire United States is 10-20 no limit. The biggest PLO game in the entire United States is 5-5-10 pot limit Omaha. Because those are the only games that run every single day. 24/7, somewhere in America, you can find a game of that size. Once you get bigger than that, 25, 50 PLO, 50, those games are they're not really part of the poker economy, because they only pop up, and then they disappear. And even when they pop up, it's all around one or two really bad players, and the other professionals in the game are all swapping or selling just to play in the game. It's a fake game, and it actually steals money out of the poker economy. It's better to have as many people as possible staying in the games that run 24/7.
That's true, and like I don't like overtly say this stuff on Live at the Bike, but if I'm asked, like I do answer, because like unless you experience the high stakes poker, you don't see it. Like, oh, it runs for like, whoa, what is it? A couple of days, a week, maybe 2 months, and then you don't see it, and then it randomly pops up again. It has to do with like outside thing. If the stock market's doing well, if crypto's doing well, you know, some rich guy comes in, a whale flies in, you know, from Texas or Asia or something like that, and just like it's like it's soul draining too. When the big game runs, you just get annihilated, and then you're just like, when's this thing gonna run again?
I remember when Manny Pacquiao used to come into Commerce. Whenever he had a big win, it's like all the pros would just like look like that their fucking dog had died and their mom had died, like, because they knew that Manny Pacquiao was not coming back for at least a year till his next fight. So for that year, the $500,000 or whatever he won because he ran hot was never fucking coming back.
Yeah, and this is something that I guess doesn't equate to people when I say the limit hold'em in LA is probably slightly healthier than the no limit hold'em.
Yeah,
because the recurring action comes back.
Right. No, limit is definitely the limit games in LA are very healthy. They don't have this huge influx of like money from people watching poker on TV or whatever, and yet there's always a bunch of games going, and there's a lot of working professionals. Like there's probably more working professionals in limit hold'em than there is in no limit hold'em.
I don't know. Like I commonly have this discussion about if you had to start your poker career in this era, what would you do? And most of the pros say you definitely have to start no limit first, prove that you're a winner, and then, you know, PLO is an option. A lot of times the best game in the house is PLO.
Right.
You know, limit hold'em, there's some good options, but like a lot of the pros / super pros in limit hold'em have been playing like 20 years and have like millions of hands online, and you know, there's just like it's possible. It's more like PLO is more uncharted territory, but it is getting harder too. Like, you know, before it shut down, like a couple months before, like, you know, I was playing, I was like, oh, people got a lot better in the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, the PLO game has gotten much tougher, much tougher. It's just like with everything else. There's just too much information out there.
Yeah.
It's like the younger players, they come in, they know how to play already. They're already ready to go, you know. The older guys like slowly go broke and just fade away. There's the people that are when an old guy fades away or dies, his replacement is never another bad player. His replacement is always a fucking good player. Whereas in, 20 years ago, when an old guy left, the young guy that took his place was just as bad. They were equally as bad. So like the game was like, everybody had this like really steep fucking learning curve because it was very, very hard to learn how to play. Whereas now, whenever old guy leaves, his replacement is just almost never like a player that's even near as bad as he was. Even if it's like the worst young player is fucking 10 times as good as the worst old player.
Yeah.
They're not even on the same planet as far as like lack of skill and self-control.
Very true. Poker's dead. No, just kidding. I actually don't agree with people that poker's dead. I just think you have to navigate it differently, and you're the one that basically showed me to just like not ram my head against the high stakes poker scene. It's like,
Live poker's dead in Los Angeles, basically.
For now,
when COVID's over, it'll come back and it'll be the same as it was. I'm sure. I mean, it's not great, but it's not horrible. It's not great. You need other sources of income.
Yeah, I mean that goes for like everybody though. A lot of people are picking multiple jobs and
right.
And you're going, I don't know. It's like it's rough times, man. I always sympathize with like the kids like 10 years younger than me, 20 years younger than me. I'm like, dude, you got it like way harder. I don't know what the hell people are talking about. Like, even though there's a lot of information, you need a lot of like capital and grind, and just like the personal relations developed these days seem to be a lot flimsier than they used to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it used to be like if you met another professional poker player, it was like meeting a fucking unicorn. Like, you're a professional poker player? Should we talk to each other? I saw that you like this guy fucking always raises his button and then continuation bets is like 1999 or something. Like there wasn't even such thing as a concede bet. That was like, it wasn't even a concept. But like he raises his button and then he bets the flop. Like this guy's a fucking professional poker player. Like I wonder if I should talk to him. Like maybe we could talk to each other. Like nobody really ever commiserated. But then once you did find somebody to commiserate with, you were like friends for life. Like until you started loaning each other money or like
too real.
But until like you actually started like getting in money, doing money things with each other, it was like this is like the only human who understands me.
And now we're like,
it's not like that.
Now we're like, oh yeah, I understand you.
Yeah, everybody understands what everyone's doing. Like back then, you'd be like, oh man, you'd make eye contact with like same like with like card counters. Like it's still true about like card counting. Like, of course, I went down and counted cards for a while. It's like if there's another card counter at the table, like
you're always raising your bets at the same time.
Yeah, it's like you just like instantly like make eye contact. Like one of us has to fucking leave.
Yeah. Let's talk about your card counting adventures. I had Andy Block on the podcast, and we talked about the MIT Blackjack team.
Yeah, I mean, I was never like one of those guys. It's just like, again, it's just part of my advantage play portfolio. Like, I always tell people, like, they go to Vegas, and then they pay for rooms, and then they pay for food, and then they pay for golf, and then I'm like, why the fuck do you pay for that fucking shit? Why don't you just count cards and get it all for free and make a little extra money on top of it? And then they're like,
not too fast.
well, but then they're like, oh, I don't want to take all that time to learn how to count cards. It's like, what the fuck do you have to do? You have nothing to do. You play poker for a living. Ostensibly, you play poker for a living. You literally are like somewhere lower than snail on the fucking laziness scale, and you don't have time to learn to count cards, and you're just going to flush money down the drain every time you fucking go to Las Vegas? It's like, how fuck... Those are the people that I know are just like failures. They're failures at life. They're failures at everything. Because like for me, nobody even had to tell me to like learn how to count cards. Like as soon as I heard it was even conceivable, I'm like, yes, this goes right in the portfolio. Like I'll put counting cards in the portfolio. I'll put going down and smashing the football props in the portfolio. I'll put every fucking thing that I can do in the portfolio because all I'm doing is walking through a casino. if I'm just walking through a casino, like I said, like anything that gets within 3 feet of me, I want a fucking piece of, you know? Like just because they own this place doesn't mean I can't have a piece of them. So like, yeah, it's hard not to get barred. Like I'm barred. Like tonight, I went to eat dinner at Bizarre Meats, which is like fucking amazing place. I love that place. But I'm barred from SLS. So like, I was worried that like that
Trespassing.
they would get me on trespassing. But because you like wear the mask now, like I'm just like walking through there like I own the place. Even
Lost you.
we're fucking,
Yeah.
back rooming you and calling the police. But like, I'm just like got the mask on, just wandering through there because like they're fucking. There's no way to recognize me.
I got barred in everywhere in San Diego. We took, the single deck game there. It was barred after like 7 days, I think.
Right.
And then in Vegas, quickly barred. And then I went to play with a billionaire, and then I got unbarred when with him. And then I came back
Right.
without him, and I got rebarred immediately.
That's what I always tell. Like, it's hard to not get barred if you're gonna really try to hurt a place, right? So like SLS, after I got comped like the rooms there and saw how many promo chips they're giving me, and it really wasn't a very great deal compared to some of the other deals I was getting. One night I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking smash these fucking people. Like I'm just gonna spread from 25 to 1,000 in all fucking positive decks and see if I can run up 10k stack. And if they bar me, they bar me. And that's basically what happened. That's basically exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So like I'd bet $25, and as soon as the deck went positive, I just bet 1,000. And if it went, I bet 1,000 on two hands, it's like, and after a few hours, like if you're losing, they'll usually they just like let you keep playing until you start to run good. But like I was like winning, so they're just like instantly, like not instantly, but like after I was up like $3,000, like nothing, they just like backed me off.
Yeah, I got insulted. Like, somebody showed me my record in Vegas, and it said I was a comp abuser.
I'm a
I
I'm a
belied you.
I'm the worst comp abuser there is. I'm the worst.
I was insulted because I was like, I am, but like for Bellagio and those properties, like I was careful not to go overboard, but they even just still labeled me. I'm like, all right, man.
Oh no, I go way overboard on comps because you can usually just sweet talk your host later. Like if you have a host that and they like you, they can like smooth over some comp abuse. If you don't have a host that likes you or like somebody that host that actually knows you, then that's going to be much tougher. But like I ask for every fucking comp under the sun. I'll bother one floor man, and then I'll bother the next one for the exact same comp. I'll get it twice. I'll like.
Wow, it's professional.
I'll get comp golf, and then I'll sell the fucking golf round. I'll like do fucking everything. I figure like because I think all I figure is like the same thing I was just saying. Like I'm here already. Why not? Like what the fuck? Like I'm just sitting now. I'm talking to you. I've been talking to you. I'm sitting in my hotel room now for whatever an hour or two or however long, 2 hours or whatever that we've done. And like, so it's like it's not like I have some fucking busy life. Why don't I just go down and fucking like? And there's a way to count cards without getting backed off too. Like you don't have to spread that big. You can back count decks and just like pop in to certain spots and not bring a lot of attention on yourself. You can make cover bets, and you can like also play next to people who are betting much bigger than you so that you don't attract very much attention. Like if I don't want to get backed off, I will not get backed off. Like I've been playing at some places like that give me really good comps and a lot of promotional chips, and I'll play. I won't get backed off there ever. Like I will handle things the right way. But if I'm at a place that doesn't give me good promotions, doesn't give me good comps, and I don't care about, then and they have a 2-deck game that like, or you have 6-deck game, it doesn't really matter with deep penetration and good rules. I'll just try to smash the fucking game, and I don't care if I get barred.
Last few times, I don't even get like a third hand down, and they're just like, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
They probably have facial recognition.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's I mean, like, I lost some weight now. Maybe I can give. I'm just kidding. It's. I just give up. I'm just not gonna bother. Be on the casino game design side, not the player side.
I mean, if a casino has props up on football or something, like sometimes like tonight they'll have a whole bunch of props up for the first weekend of football. All you got to do, I mean, even if you don't know any of the players or teams, you could just go look up those same props at like a better site. Like you can look up the exact same props at Pinnacle or something, and see like if the Golden Nugget is laying a whole bunch of bad prop lines, which they do fucking all the time, and then just go smash those prop lines, and for as much as they'll let you bet. You know, why not? You probably make 5 cents on the dollar for every dollar you bet, something like this.
What other gaming bits do you make money from?
Well, just whatever pops up. I mean, I made a lot of money on Ultimate Texas. Ultimate Texas was like a fucking massive cash cow for me for a while. That just fell in my lap.
Did you have a team, or what'd you do? You use card tracking?
No. Steering, dealer steering.
Oh.
I don't want to get.
Steal?
Huh?
Did they missteal or misread?
Okay. I mean, dealer steering is like just such a beautiful thing. It's such an art form, and I was insanely good at it. But there's only certain times that you can do it, and now is a bad time, like a really bad time. But if the economy takes off again and new casinos open with new dealers, it's like 6 figures. It's like you just smash, you destroy, you obliterate. Like it's so crazy. It's borderline criminal, but it's not criminal.
I'm not going to be on the player side. I need to be on the other side. So, not going to do anything. I'm a changed person. Any life advice for the audience?
Hey, have your hands in lots of pies. That's about it. Have a good time. Come play poker with me. If we're ever allowed to fucking get out of our houses again.
It'll happen. If you guys don't know or you don't play poker, play the great game of Pot Limit Omaha. You get dealt 4 cards as a flop turn river, just like Hold'em, but you must use 2 cards in your hand. So if you have 4 diamonds on the board and 1 in your hand that is not a flush, you need 3 diamonds on the board and 2 in your hand. And this guy is the guy to reach out to for the best games in Los Angeles. It is at the Commerce Casino. 5-5-10. Lot of action. So
that's all true. Wayne, you should be you gotta take my job.
No, I'm trying to help you out.
Lot of action.
You help me out. I'm trying to help you out.
And we have Black Straddle too, which is nice. Good action builder.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
all right, Wayne. Well, thank you for inviting me on your shindig.
Thank you for your time.
I hope you're feeling better.
I am. How am I screwed up? Am I screwed up?
I think you need to get outside and get some sun.
Okay.
You're looking gaunt.
God, I failed my SAT at verbal. Like, I don't know.
You're like you're sort of white and like you don't have good.
You know what's happening in LA, right? Your place is like a fire around it.
You were looking sort of muscular the last time I saw you, and now you're looking sort of gaunt and sort of like withered.
I need to keep up variance so when I see you, you can make fun of me. It's just like old times, right? If I get to a point where you can't make fun of me about something, aren't we just done?
We need to go golfing again.
Okay. I'll have my flip-flops on. Yeah.
You can show up without shoes on, and I can be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I did it for the video.
Without shoes on?
I did it for the video.
All right. Well, thanks for inviting me on your show.
Thank you for your time. Online, he's Limon Poker. In real life, he's the real Uncle Abe, in which when your name was banned. That's how I got past the ban. All right, take it easy, guys. Have fun.
Take it easy.